Yo, what's good, guys? Confessi is back again with another video, and today I want to talk about something that has sparked my interest. So one factor was a comment that I got on my last video, and I kind of thought about it honestly, and I was like immediately, wow, this is a good video idea. Comparing past operations to the Armory as it stands right now. Um, and one other point is the attention that the bot farms got right now through OwnerPixel, through a lot of other people that were talking about it.
Look at player numbers for Counter-Strike. It says a milli. People celebrate, oh my god, the game is doing so well. Counter-Strike twinning. A million. Oh, yeah. You have more bots than ever, bro. Legit. I look at this guy, I go to Supreme, he stops moving!
Well, it has been a common problem for quite a long time, but now we're going to put everything here into a little bit of a more understandable perspective, I think. So we are talking about something that genuinely might reshape how people look at investing in CS2. And why, despite the hype, the Armory might actually be doomed long term. But I'm not going to completely say it's a bad thing, the Armory. I love the Armory. I'm farming stars as we speak right now. Yeah, but as I said, we are going to look at the numbers and everything, and you can make your own mind up. So while everyone is staring at insane ROIs like 130, 150, and on the early days of the Armory and on the little bit later days, we even had 200% ROIs. I'm going to give you an insight here, a YouTube screenshot, which I got from someone from a creator who also talked about the bot problem very early. So there's one massive underlying issue, obviously, that nobody talked about. The Armory system has fundamentally changed how supply works. And this time, bot farms are part of the equation. To understand why this might become a serious problem, we need to compare the Armory to previous operations that use similar star-based systems. Broken Fang and Riptide, the most recent operations. And look at how supply, player count, and long-term market behavior actually worked back then. So let's try to break this down properly. So when the Armory released, ROI numbers were like 180, 180, 200%, and this was never, that was never seen before. That's absolutely insane in a system where players can redeem as many passes as they want, also farm them at the same time, and with unlimited scaling. So unlike past operations where you had only one coin and you could only level that one coin with stars, the Armory changed everything by removing that bottleneck. That creates, in my opinion, a huge problem. If ROI is extremely high, bot farms scale up infinitely. Bot farms don't claim one item per day, as you and me do. They claim hundreds at a scale because every Armory Pass is independent. This leads to massive unnatural supply, price suppression, unpredictable long-term outcomes, and an economy driven not by players, but by scripts. But of course, this is kind of like, I want to make it a little bit more dramatic, as it may be. There's still way more people playing the game like normally than there are bots, but the bots are very efficient when it comes to farming Armory stars. I'm going to tell you right now. So deathmatch and everything gives you way more Armory stars, and if you do it like large, we've seen like Twitter posts with like 40 PCs playing on, like one PC has like 20 virtual machines running, and there's like one window of CS in every one of those. So yeah, operations are before Armory, a very different world. To understand why the Armory behaves differently, we need context. So let's look at Operation Broken Fang, which went about 5 months from December 2020 to May 3rd of 2021. But the player base was dramatically smaller. So we have the AK-47 X-Ray, the M4A1-S Welcome to the Jungle, and the AWP Fade, which, so I'm going to blend it in here, the supply. So the AK X-Ray has 6,000 units of it. The M4A1-S Welcome to the Jungle has 3,150 supply, and the AWP Fade has about 11,500, so more than both other skins combined. So, because operations had lower player counts, shorter time windows, one pass per player, no real bot farms running thousands of accounts, much lower demand at the time. and drastically lowers supply output. CS2 today is nothing like 2020, in my opinion at least. So we need more context. As I said, we're going to look at a lot of context here. So strap yourself in, get comfy. So we have the operations that historically increase player count. This was a well-known pattern. So when an operation came out, like player counts increased, and when it was removed again, the player count decreased. The same happened for the Broken Fang collection, Broken Fang operation. Sorry. So we had about a 10% spike during the operation, and when it released, then it fell 8% immediately after, followed by about 16% the next month. The same was for Riptide. It was about 7%. Of course, 7% may sound small, but 7% in like those numbers is a lot of players. Like 7% increase, then 10% even more the month after it in January, and then about -8, -2% after it ended. Like -8 the following month and -2 the following month after that. So operations mean more players, more demand. End of operations means drop in players and a softer market. But here's the critical difference. Armory is not limited to a 5-month window. And today the player count is at an all-time high. Very important to keep in mind here. That means, in my opinion, you're essentially investing at the peak, at the all-time high. Demand is high now, but demand isn't guaranteed later. Any drop in player count directly affects item performance. This is something most new investors ignore. Very important to keep in mind, because a lot of people, like a lot of investment people, are going to tell you that, oh, it's green, it's green, it's green, it's always green. Yeah, because the player count historically rose all the time. So yeah, of course, it's going to be green, man. So yeah. The Train 2021 example. So the Train 2021 showed us something incredible during Operation Riptide. You could choose a guaranteed red. And people did. A lot. Which created a massive supply of about 74,000 M4A1 coalitions and about 139,000 Glock 18 Gamma Dopplers. So the result? Coalition was a disaster during the operation. It was worth nothing basically. And the Gamma Doppler dropped to 10 euros because supply exploded. Yet today, Coalition is suddenly pumped. Like, I don't really understand, because it's completely unnatural. It was worthless for a very long time. And then I think I've heard rumors that like some Chinese groups are pumping exactly this skin and some other coverts alongside it. Yeah, but this proves something essential. High supply doesn't prevent price appreciation long term, if player interest grows. So even with the Armory supply we're looking at, we've looked at the last video, that doesn't necessarily mean doomsday. If the player count and the player interest overall grows, it's still going to be a solid and stable market. So yeah, we had also Mirage 2021, Dust 2 2021, and Vertigo 2021. Supply isn't everything. So the best examples are Mirage 2021, where you have the AWP Desert Hydra. It has a supply of 6,200, and if you look at the price graph, it had an incredible appreciation, but it wasn't really worth too much back in the days. But compared to now, of course, it was still quite an expensive skin, but compared to now, it's nowhere near. The Dust 2 collection 2021 is now, with hindsight, like one of the most no-brainer investments ever. I'm so sad I didn't buy one. It has a supply of 7,200, and it became one of the most valuable AK skins ever. And as I said, I absolutely, with hindsight, it was absolutely clear to me. So we also have the Vertigo 2021, and this is very subjective. So the M4A1-S Imminent Danger, it was absolutely not liked. It has 1,169 supply, so a lot smaller supply. But it's still appreciated well, but nowhere near like the Gold Arabesque or the Desert Hydra. So we can see that demand is still more of a factor than just rarity. So supply matters, but player preference matters far more. So why is Armory supply completely different from operations? Here's the dangerous part. Armory supply keeps growing. Old operations stopped. Armory did at least not yet. So on top of that, you can have multiple Armory passes at the same time. Operations allowed only one. Combine that with bots farming, generating stars 24/7, and you get far more skins entering the market, far faster supply growth, far less, I would put it, collectability, no natural cap on production, and no natural stopping point. Which means Armory items may never become low supply luxury items like past operations unless Valve rotates them out early. If they don't, supply will balloon uncontrollably. And yeah, this is why everybody, if someone asks me, like, what do I invest in the Armory? Well, honestly, I don't know, man. But if it helps you, I bought an AWP Long Dog. It has the lowest supply and I like it. But as I said, it's absolutely subjective and very speculative. Don't take any of this for granted, as always. So let's recap the core problems. So ROI was way too high. Early Armory ROI was like 180 to 200%, and it attracted bot farms instantly. So those bot farms scale completely infinitely. You can, like, if you do it well, of course, never do it. Please don't do it. It's the more risky part about it than investing even. So one human can like have one operation pass and one armory pass, and or some armory passes, but the supply can spike forever. Operations always had an expiration date. The armory does at least not yet. So player count is also at an historical high, and high demand now doesn't mean high demand next year. We don't know it. So casual players don't experience true ROI. Mass redemption bot networks average out good luck. That's a very important part. Single redemptions do not. The market today is not the market of 2020. Everything is more expensive. Buying at all-time highs carries far more risks. And the supply already outpaces operations dramatically. So M4A1-S Fade supply, just to put it into perspective, only this skin alone is higher than the X-Ray, the Welcome to the Jungle, the AWP Fade combined and taken times 2. So, and the Armory isn't even old yet. If Valve keeps the Armory active for another year, supply will absolutely dwarf every previous operation. So, what are my final thoughts here? What the future might look like? The Armory is still amazing for players. I'm not going to doubt it. As I said, I'm still absolutely farming stars. They feel valuable. They feel exciting to print. Everyone feels rewarded. But for investors, the system has serious problems. Supply doesn't stop. ROI encourages botting. Player count won't stay at all-time highs. Demand can shift unexpectedly, and nothing forces scarcity. Unless Valve, of course, here's the other part, rotates collections frequently, which they haven't really done yet. Nerfs bot farm profitability, or just, what the fuck, man, just delete those bots. It's so easy to detect. How can they not detect it, honestly? Or if maybe they limit pass stacking, so maybe you can only have one pass, which would make it already way better. So yeah, right now we are in a completely different economic environment, and ignoring that can be dangerous. So I hope you liked it. Sorry if I like kind of took all of your hope here, but yeah, as I said, I might be proven wrong in 1 year, and the player count rises and demand is higher than ever. But as I said, like, would you buy Bitcoin at an all-time high? Yeah, but only if you believe in it. And I believe in the market, so I'm going to put money into it. But from someone who doesn't really have that connection, well, honestly, I don't know if you should. So, have a nice day, guys, and let me know what you think about it in the comments, and see you in my next one. Thank you for watching.